Slate struts primed. Retros firing.
If you need to harvest any organic materials, now would be the time.
Boss is in the back.
Anyone who allows us just to walk into a space like this is very, very confident. Or, I suppose, very insecure. Yes? I am always willing to carry an extra weapon. Or two. Or three. Right.
This music is gonna put me to sleep.
Beat the Red Mile, huh?
Better behave while you're in here.
Here to join the first?
You're lucky to get a meeting with Marco.
Are we impressed? Clearly that is the goal. I think... No, never mind. I am not impressed. Ah, the dulcet tones of classical piano.
Welcome. May's message didn't exactly make it clear why you wanted to meet with me. If you're looking for work, my organization is always in need of pilots and security personnel, willing to take risks. You've heard of the First, I take it. I'm not just a member, I also help to fund the outfit through a network of independent traders. Of course, illicit goods are the most lucrative, so there is a constant need for skilled pilots. Ah, I see. You did well to find me. I'm not an easy man to locate. Though I suppose we haven't exactly been keeping a low profile lately. Given the nature of the contract, a degree of exposure was always a risk, but a calculated one. To be honest, I think the Major is all but spoiling for a confrontation with the Rangers. Still, I confess, I'm a little disappointed that the Marshal sent a deputy instead of a full-fledged Ranger.
Tread carefully, Marco. You underestimate the deputy at your peril.
And who might you be?
Call me Andreja.
Welcome to my home, Andreja. If I may be so bold, you possess a certain mystique. It's a pleasure to have you here.
The feeling is not mutual, and I am not the one with whom you should be trying to curry favor, Marco.
Your deputy friend here could have a bright future, assuming we all keep our heads. To settle accounts, Major Hull served with distinction during the Colony War. But the leaders of the Freestar Collective, they turned on him. In his eyes, the Rangers are enforcers for a corrupt Council of Governors. That makes you his enemy. As for me, I didn't see any profit in nursing that grudge. I prefer to focus on the future. That's right. Major Hull spent 20 years in lockup nursing a grudge against the Freestar Collective. We all did. A lot of good men and women died for nothing because of those cowards you work for. You've chosen your side, and I've chosen mine. I'm not sure you are grasping the situation here, Deputy. You are on my ship, outnumbered by my guards, who will kill you without hesitation. I'm a businessman. If you expect me to cooperate, I'm going to want something in return. I won't tell you everything. I do still have some loyalty to my unit. However, I can point you in the right direction. In exchange, I want the Rangers to let me operate with a free hand. I have a better idea. Instead, I tell you something you don't want to know, but you should. The Council of Governors is a group of greedy and corrupt liars who are using you and the other Rangers to protect their own interests. Do you really think they give a damn about the people of the Freestar Collective? Whatever road brought you here, your journey ends today.
near me!
You messed with the wrong person. I cannot wait to kill you.
There was something out there. It's gone now.
Mistake!
You're not walking out of here.
Winner takes all this diff race, is it not?
Cowards.
Soon. Could we talk? I have been curious. I know that your role in Constellation was thrust upon you in an unusual way. But that experience does not demand that you stay. You could have delivered the artifact and then left. Why do you stay? It does seem to be a unique situation with serious consequences. That is what keeps me here as well. My past is complicated. And anyone in Constellation will tell you I do not speak much of it. But my family always stressed the importance of having a purpose in life. You must have a reason for being. This group of people, who by rights would never associate with one another, has come together for a common cause. That is impressive on its own, before considering the magnitude of the work they have undertaken. The possibilities it holds. A goal is something you work towards, an expectation of achievement. That is not the same. I believe it is sometimes phrased as, the destination is not as important as the journey. When I first came to New Atlantis, I was shocked at how many people go about their business every day like drones. They do their jobs, eat their food, sleep in their beds, all seemingly without concern for anything around them. Complacent. Their experience is so different from much of the settled systems. They do not know how good they have it. They There is no struggle to survive here. No great risk in daily life. I'm sure you have seen for yourself that is not the case for much of the settled systems. Hostile environments, dangerous creatures, not to mention the threats posed by other humans. None of that touches these people. I think if there is no struggle, people can forget what living really means. Purpose cuts through adversity. I know that all too well. And these people seem to have no idea. I have. There have been times where I wondered whether it was worth it. My family is unique within the settled systems. I grew up outside the bounds of the United Colonies, or the Freestar Collective. My parents, and their parents before them, did not believe anyone outside our family could be trusted or relied upon. You can imagine, I am sure, how existence without ties to others is challenging in space. They believed, and still do, that anyone who was not part of our family did not share our values, our goals, and was ultimately a potential threat. My time in the settled systems has mostly led me to agree with them. Choice had nothing to do with it, not for me. But looking back, I understand their concern. For now, though, it would seem you and I have found purpose in Constellation. I believe that is enough. I am pleased that we have common cause, and have enjoyed our time together. Thank you.
Never ever go outside the city walls after sundown.
I'll say, take a look around. It's a good bed I've got. How about I just show you instead of tell you?
Sure, Laredo makes some good guns, but if you want a range of manufacturers to choose from, my shop will serve you better. Outlaws, Ashta, those bandits from the Shaw gang, this can be a dangerous place. Best to carry a reliable piece. More than a few, yeah. Unless you're up in the core, life around here ain't easy. Folks can find their way into all kinds of trouble. I've had no end of desperate souls come through that door in search of a way out. I know it ain't technically my fault when someone buys one of my guns and starts shooting up the town, but still don't feel great about it. Hopefully you ain't one of those kind. I'm sure I got what you need.
Oh! Need a moment to walk that off?
You meet all sorts in Akila City.
Might want to steer clear of the stretch. Lots of crime over there.
Welcome to the best mineral dealer in town. Ready to deal? Lousy. To put it bluntly, the trade authority is muscling in on my business. So far, I've kept them at bay. But they've been stepping up their game lately. They got all their tricks. Intimidation, extortion, bribery, blackmail. Nothing's off the table. Of course, everyone turns a blind eye, as long as the Council of Governors finds their services useful. So, I'm on my own. But that's my problem, not yours. Plenty to look at.
Over there. Tourist?
I give him 3 minutes.
Yes, Aggie.
You must be a
I have
tourist.
spent far too much time
Akila
here.
locals know better
I
than
do
to
not
interrupt a man
recommend
when
it.
he's drinking alone. Well, this isn't the best part of town for sightseeing. The crowd at the hitching post is a whole lot friendlier to strangers. But since we're already talking, I guess I ought to introduce myself. The name's Ezekiel. Some folks around town call me Easy. Is there something I can do for you?
Huh. Maybe.
That's right there in my name. Ezekiel. People called me that when I was a kid, and that stuck.
Yeah.
And I kindly ask that you move along. I don't do small talk, especially not with strangers.
Hello.
Pardon.
Thank you for saving my husband. I was so scared.
Step right in, ma'am, and feast your eyes on the marvelous attractions of Honest Earl's Alien Extravaganza.
I can read the sign.
Of course you can. Creatures great and small from the furthest reaches of the settled systems.
Here.
Welcome, welcome. Let me ask you a simple question, friend. Are you prepared to see something so wondrous and strange that you're sure never to forget it? I'm offering you the chance to see something truly exotic and unique. Now, a small remittance is involved, yes. But if you allow me to explain, I think you'll agree it's a price that's more than fair. With pleasure. We got animals from the deepest, darkest corners of the settled systems. What you'll see will delight and amaze. Just a modest fee, and you can feast your eyes. I envy you, truly, for this opportunity. Absolutely. There's a reason folks around here call me Honest Earl. If that's your attitude, then please remove yourself from the premises and make way for the other customers. Fine, big shot.
Well,
Congratulations
not that
for
much.
skinning me at a tenfold trip.
it amazes me that anyone would spend credits on this instead of taking a trip to see real alien life.
Can you even read Jim's inventory?
You need a magnifying glass for it.
It looks like we're down 2 crates.
You didn't hear this from me. With those ecliptic mercenaries, the factions use them sometimes. Freestar Collective and UC both.
Don't even think about leaving the city. Asked out there, and they are no joke.
So we're gonna have a house swap? That's what Mr. Tate is working on. We'll have to move out when construction begins.
Carrots are coming in nice. Still have some potatoes to harvest.
Looks like it's gonna be a good year. Maybe you should expand.
Any damage?
No, just some graffiti. We cleaned it right up.
I don't like those hooligans in here after hours.
No harm, no foul. I mean, some of that work was even
He did a
pretty
good job. You'd
Almost
have
hated
no
to clean
idea
it
it
up.
was a mess yesterday. Well, just keep an eye on it. If the water filtration gets busted, it's bottled water until we get it back up and running.
It's just kids.
If I get caught on one more drunk and disorderly, would not mind stopping at the Laredo storefront. I appreciate their craftsmanship.
Unless this is urgent, supply and demand. It's really just that simple. Master that. Success will follow. Just once, I wish Sarah would stop complaining about Henry. As if I don't have enough to manage already.
Are you that newcomer that saved Mr. Crowley?
Oh, he owes you a beer.
Heck, a whole keg.
You really gone through with it?
I get tired of being ordered around. I want to be my own boss.
And the crowd goes wild! Ah!
Need a mosquito, Mom.
Emily knows the best games. I hope she comes over today.
Cool, Duh.
You might want to give the kids space. They can be
A lot better if you
rambunctious.
practice like me. Instead of just daydreaming.
Grow up so fast.
I just know Annie's gonna be a ranger one day, just like her mom.
It's like right.
I'm Annie Wilcox. You're new in town, aren't you? That means I'm gonna keep my eye on you.
Doesn't have to make sense. Just has to say.
Nice try. But when I don't want to be seen, I'm like a Ashta in the night. Is it? Or are you just saying that? See, I work for the Freestar Rangers. I'm the first ever Ranger Surveillance Assistant. And that's not some dumb made-up title. Ranger Emma Wilcox gave it to me. So it's official. That's right. She's the Senior Ranger, which means she's in charge of me and all the other Rangers. Well, except Diego, because he's a Senior Ranger too. Oh, and the Marshal. He's in charge of all the Rangers. I watch people and listen to them. If I hear something about smuggling or Aurora or gangs, I tell the Rangers. It's easy, because no one pays attention to kids. Plus, I know a lot of good hiding places all over the city. I'm the best Ranger Surveillance Assistant that ever lived. Someday, I'll teach other kids the tricks of the trade. Gotta prepare the next generation, because I won't be here forever. So what's it gonna be? Are you gonna be a law-abiding citizen? Or are you gonna be on my list? My list of people who might be troublemakers, so I have to watch them extra close. You don't want to be on my list. That's the right answer. I just hope you mean it. Akila City is just crawling with crime. It's everywhere. And it's up to us Rangers to do something about it.
And Ranger surveillance assistants.
Someone's stealing guns and stuff from Laredo Arms.
And none of the adults believe us.
So we're hoping, you know, you can help us break it all open. Because they're dumb. I gave security a whole list of crimes and leads, and they barely pay attention anymore. I'm practically doing their job for them. My mother is Senior Ranger Emma Wilcox, and she said that I am a Ranger surveillance assistant. Ask her yourself. Emily was right about you. I was doing my Ranger patrol one night, and there was a suspicious character casing Laredo Arms. I watched him as long as I could, but I had to rush home for bedtime. First thing in the morning, I came back and interrogated Justin Sneed. And he said they were tracking down an inventory discrepancy. I told him about the suspicious stranger, but Mr. Sneed didn't believe me. I couldn't prove anything, but the suspect was acting all sorts of funny. He was trying to make sure no one could see him. My mom says you have to listen to your gut in this business. I just know he's a thief. Exactly! This case was too big for just one ranger, so I deputized Emily.
I'm an assistant ranger surveillance assistant.
Or, something like that. And we found out that the thief breaks in most nights, but like, really late. He's got his own key card. We just need to catch him. Security will believe you. We did all the things. Crime scene investigated. Witnesses interviewed. And suspect tailed.
Very thorough and quite impressive.
I followed the suspect all day. He had no idea.
Emily caught him opening the side door one night. That's when we knew for sure we have an actual criminal here. You're doing Akila City a big service. Best I figure he's there around midnight. You need to wait for him to exit Laredo, then catch him red-handed. We need to bring him to justice.
The suspect has been at Laredo every night. I've seen it myself.
That was quite a...
I don't think we typically allow customers up here.
But you know, stretch trash will come back and loiter, or worse. Let them. A few beer bottles and graffiti is the least we owe them.
Yes, Miss Mantis.
Aquila's one of the oldest cities in the settled systems.
There's not enough to do around here.
Just here for security. Please move along.
I think you'll find that we carry fine weapons of all kinds here. Indeed. As a matter of fact, they're made in this very building. You're standing in the storefront of the Laredo Firearms factory. I designed and manufactured every firearm for sale here. As such, I can offer you my personal assurance they're of the highest quality. When a CEO distances herself from the customers, her decision-making suffers. Here I get to see what matters, what sells, what doesn't, and why. It's invaluable. Plus, it's better than the endless meetings. Let's get you set up.
SSNN says that spacers and the fleet are getting worse.
That's what they've always.
Is so large, yet retains a sort of rustic feel. I find it comforting.
Hey, Deputy!
Welcome to the Rock, I guess.
Better this than being some dust wrangler.
If you're looking for the Rangers, check the upper levels. Or the canteen.
Not everyone gets to say they work at the Rock.
Helga says I spend too much time at my terminal. He's probably right. Hey there, Deputy. How goes the hunt for the first? Good, good. If you ask me, I don't think they stand a chance. You're like an Ashta creeping silently through the high grass, waiting for your chance to pounce, and then boom! Down they'll go. So, did you get any more of those encrypted slates? Because let me tell you, I am so close. Yeah, you know, big nasty four-legged thing with razor-sharp teeth, fast, quiet, deadly. Maybe you'd never heard of them. I mean, it's only the most dangerous predator in basically the universe, so why should you have? Oh, come to Daddy, you sweet little piece of technology. You go stalk your prey and leave the rest to me, Deputy.
These Rangers are some hard-blooded folk. They ain't afraid of anything.
Come in, Deputy. Take a seat.
This won't take long.
While you've been in the field, we've had more reports about farmers being threatened and attacked. Unfortunately,
some didn't survive. Not really, no. We can't be everywhere at once. Right now, our best hope to stop them is you. It's worse. It's tragic.
How's your investigation proceeding?
That's assuming he finds something useful. Otherwise, you'll be no better off than when you started.
How can you be so critical when you have done nothing to help?
This is Freestar Ranger business. I'll thank you to stay out of it.
Let's move on. I asked the other Rangers to share their opinions of you, and there are some things I want to go over. We'll start with Ranger Callow in Hopetown. She was grateful for your timely arrival, and impressed you had the guts to take on those pirates. Nia says you were respectful with Ron Hope and didn't push too hard. That shows me you were listening when I said to go easy on him. Duty has to come before personal feelings. I'm glad you understand that.
Let's continue. We've got a detailed report from Ranger Price about your recent visit to Neon. He said you took on a syndicate loan shark to help an informant. And you were right to do so. Helping people is our most important duty, even when you're conducting an investigation.
You got results, and that's what matters most. Price was impressed by that. Said you really took the initiative.
Ranger McMillan praised what she called your uncommon bravery and dedication. She said you took on the Red Mile so you could get a meeting with Marco Graziani. Sounds like you're starting to understand what it means to be a Freestar Ranger.
So what happened with Marco? I doubt he gave you that slate out of the kindness of his heart. I suppose underestimating you was his last mistake. Damn. I thought if anyone could see reason, it'd be Marco. What about Maya Cruz? Her loyalty to Hull and the 1st Cavalry was stronger than most. I guess I'd want the same thing if I were in her place.
Excuse me, Marshal?
Not now, Alex. We're in a meeting here.
I know, but this is important. I've done it. I've cracked the encryption on the slates. Now, I don't know exactly where the First are headquartered, but there are references to a place called the Factory.
The Factory? That was our nickname for the main facility where the mechs were manufactured.
Under the terms of the peace treaty, they shut all the mech factories down right after the war.
But they didn't destroy them. At least not all of them. Never saw it myself, but I know it's a large facility mostly underground. If the First are occupying it, they'll probably have set up defensive positions throughout the complex. The facility was on Arcturus 2. It could be a dead end, but if it's not, then you'd better be ready for a fight.
Be careful, Deputy.
Those first guys should have spent more time on their encryption.
If you have questions before you head out, ask the Marshal.
Good hunting. Be ready for a fight, Deputy. Smart, proud, and charismatic. A natural leader. Most in the 1st Cavalry would have laid down their lives on his orders without a second thought. But seeing so many of his soldiers die in the Battle of Nera, I think something broke in him that day. It's a sad story, and I sympathize to a point.
He would not be the first to be changed by the tragedy of war.
Seen it more times than I care to admit. It's a big facility, mostly beneath the surface. During the war, it was home to maybe 100 technicians working around the clock. They used the planet's geothermal vents to power the smelting of metal for the mechs. That's about all I know. Never was much of a gearhead. Guess we're done here.
You would think that deadly predators would have driven off settlers. Humans. We can be so stubborn.
Akila City, the Trade Authority looks to partner with local governments to find mutually beneficial arrangements. Well, like the name says, we promote and facilitate interstellar trade. I won't bore you with all the minutiae and laws, contracts, regulations, and the like. What I will say is that a steady flow of goods and services from one place to another is vital to the stability and survival of the settled systems. A scarcity of resources would lead to unrest, anarchy, and maybe even war. Nobody wants that. I'm the local representative for the organization. In that capacity, I work with merchants and business people and local leaders to make sure trade flows regularly and efficiently to and from the city. With the long lag times of interstellar communication, we wanted to have someone here in person to talk face to face and make quick decisions. After all, the Trade Authority's work is vital to the continued growth and prosperity of Akila City. Huh, down to business then.
The UC can't be that bad, can it?
I'm pleased you chose to visit us. Here's what I have in stock right now.
I get all kinds in here. Feel free to look around.
Yes, keep politics out of war.
Rock might have some work for something like that.
The services tech is in the hut up at the front, if you need him. Akila City's always hopping.
Always a satisfying moment to return to your ship.
How are you easing into things, Andreja? Is our mutual acquaintance helping your transition to this new way of life for you?
Yes, I would say that the proper adjustments are being made. The most difficult part has been acclimating to what you perceive as the more insignificant customs.
Interesting. Such as?
I think. Oh, yes. Here's a particularly strange one. After a person sneezes, someone invariably invokes the phrase, "bless you." Oddly strange to administer absolution after witnessing a bodily function.
Oh, I'm sure that if something's on your mind, you can tell me. Only if it's one of your deepest, darkest secrets. Every time you say those things, it feels like I'm in heaven. No, we done talking already.
Will we be stopping for food? I would not mind trying something, and there are plenty of options.
If it belongs on your... There's a bit more in the back if you're not seeing something on... Oh, please, take a look. Thanks for shopping at Jemison Mercantile.
Not quite enjoy New Atlantis, but this... this is much better.
If you want to talk, make it quick. I think I'm late for Noelle's science lesson. Hey, let me know when you're ready to take me along with you. Should only be a few years. Come back soon. I like talking to my friends.
I thought you'd understand where I'm coming from, Sam.
That's not what I said.
The stock versions are never quite what you want, are they? Something for personal use or for sale? I think you may be trying to take a little too much on. Literally.
Doesn't know you're working this hard, does she?
That's not what I said.
I've always worked hard. That was the only way that I could
Well,
get here.
okay, fine.
My work is all
Let's see
like
what he
that.
says.
No wealth, no connection.
Hey, you have a second? Sam and I were just having a, discussion, and I wanted someone else's input.
I think it's more accurate to say that you and I have now both been cornered, but sure.
I'd like to, you know, get in shape, do some working out. So I asked Vladimir for some tips, and he basically said weightlifting was a bad idea.
Are you sure that's what he said, or is it just what you heard?
Anyway, so I wanted to get Sam's opinion on it, and he pretty much said the same thing.
Okay, since now you've been fully roped into this, let's all just take a step back. I had simply pointed out that if you take a look at Matteo, weightlifting isn't necessarily the first thing that comes to mind. I was wondering whether there might be a better option for him, and just sort of musing in general about the idea of sticking to things you're inclined to, versus going out and trying something completely new. Well, what's your take on it? You think it's better to stick to what you know, or to take any opportunity to try something that's maybe outside your comfort zone. Well, there you have it.
That's what I've been saying! Anyway, thanks. I think I'm gonna try it. And don't worry, I'll be sure and ask Vladimir for pointers.
Hey, we'll support you no matter what. Just don't want to see you get hurt is all.
Yeah, I know.
It's been quieter around here ever since Vladimir went to live on the Eye full-time. As much as I love uncovering new questions, I wouldn't mind a few answers now and then. Stay safe, okay?